It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and we've got a showdown in the NFC North. It's the Vikings and the Bears on Monday night.
The sun is set in Chicago. The temps have dipped and will continue to do so. Jacket and blanket weather. It's that time of year at Soldier Field. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Vikings coming into play. It's a relatively balanced offense. The next-gen stats kind of bear that out. What do you think they'll be looking to do in this one?
I think it'll be exactly what you just talked about. They'll want to be balanced on offense, which means to them, they'll want everyone involved. See if they can get some one-on-ones in the passing game. Maybe identify some situations where they can swing the ball to the backs in space. Even find some spots where they just want to play some old-fashioned power football. As one of the most successful coaches in the league told us once, the definition of balanced offense, that means you can do what you want when you want to, not necessarily just running it 50% of the time and throwing it the same percentage.
The Florida Atlantic man, Greg Joseph, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. And the Bears offense ready to go to work here for the first time, leading them out the 11th overall pick of the 2021 draft, Justin Fields out of Ohio State.
And just a few years after the Bears made a big move at quarterback, taking Mitchell Trubisky, they did it again this year, moving from number 20 to number 11 in the draft to select Justin Fields out of Ohio State. This offense was just 26 in total yardage last year, so they needed some production. Justin Fields, 63 touchdown passes his last 2 years at Ohio State. They're expecting him to be their guy for the future.
They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. Sheds another, and he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Fields. And his throw is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. They find some open field here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. This rushing attack sure looks pretty effective here on this opening drive.
Yeah, they're finding gaps with very little problem right now. If this is going to consistently be this way throughout the game, there's going to be some adjustments made on the defensive side of the ball.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. Fields now to throw. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. 7 yards, the pick up there. Justin Fields at quarterback gets the completion there. CD, what do you think the key is to stopping this talented former Buckeye?
Pressure, pressure, pressure. Rookie quarterbacks have to survive the initiation of the pressure of the NFL. Now, his athleticism can scare you a little bit because if he evades it, he can go a long way. But in the beginning, you want his eyes to go to the rush, not downfield. So bring those extra guys and see if he can handle it.
We're scoreless after 1. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Third and 2, Fields. Throw left side complete. That's Montgomery. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
On 1st down, Fields. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Fields. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Robinson. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
Now a 1st down throw, Fields. And this will be incomplete.
Just nowhere to go with the football. He was forced to put that one into Lake Michigan. I think his receivers have to do a better job of working free because he didn't have anywhere to go at all on that play.
2nd and 10. To throw is Fields. And that's going to be incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Play action. It's Fields. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown Bears. Allen Robinson there to make the grab. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Walking into the stadium, we saw a ton of people donning the jerseys of this rookie quarterback, so you know they love that opening drive, and he throws a touchdown pass.
He gave a little bit of confirmation about what they had hoped, right? Because they thought they had a quarterback. They're thinking they have a quarterback. You do this.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it wanted a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. The touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Minnesota offense ready to go to work here. Their quarterback in his 10th season overall now, and 4th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
And his task in this situation is making sure this team knows that there's a sense of urgency, yet somehow still stays calm. Because your natural impulse, your first possession is not until the second quarter, is you got to attack right away. Throw something big at them right away. Yeah, you got to move the ball, but maybe be a little bit careful in doing so.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Cousins. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The credit that sack to Robert Quinn.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they could put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Jordan Berry now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Ooh, with a juke, powering his way forward. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Bears take over. Well, the Bears going to take over now late in this first half. And with great starting field position and one timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 44. Here's Fields. Man open is Robinson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap, Fields. Throws right side, and that's complete. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. From the gun, here's Fields. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Marquise Goodwin in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears will extend their lead here just before halftime. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Santos able to tack on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Vikings in that first half. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Bears, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Now Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, it's not time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action now. Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On 3rd down, Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there, Cousins to Thielen, 53 yards. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And that might be just what they needed to get back in this game. Sometimes you need a big play to shake things up, get a little life in your sideline, get everyone believing again, and they got it there in a big way.
And to put a bow on it, Next Gen Stats saying that traveled an even 66 yards in the air. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. They try again with Cook. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7.
Makes the score Bears 14, Vikings 7.
So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Jakeem Grant now to return. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On third down, they go Montgomery. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's That's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.